We have more buyers than we have homes available today. Though it's not appreciated to be on the world's top population, but if this is the question, we need to find the answers. So if you're also eager to find the answers, you have come to the right place. So hello and welcome. This is Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, and I would want to welcome you all in today's webinar on career paths in architecture, opportunities in affordable housing. I hope that you all are doing fine, safe and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the architecture and affordable housing, we have our experts with us today. We have two experts with us. So let me introduce you to our experts. We have architect Mustafizur Rahman sir, an associate professor from School of Architect, Lovely Professional University. He has completed his studies from Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University and has worked with esteemed architect Mr. Abhijit Ray. And there he had developed interest in industrial area and planning. He has worked in Haryana Infrastructure and Industrial Development Corporation, that is HSIIDC, and has expertise in planning and land acquisition. He is pursuing PhD and has interest in field of planning for inclusive cities. Sir, it is a pleasure for us to be here, and I heartily welcome you in the webinar, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, with this, I shall take the moment to introduce you to our second expert, who is our admission nominee as well. We have Dr. Chirag Sharma, an assistant professor, PhD in computer science and engineering, and has an experience of more than 10 years in teaching and has more than 40 research publications in various fields under his name. So he will be actually guiding all the attendees and the students regarding admission process, navigating them through all the processes that they need to know, and so that they can take part in the favorite course. So sir, I welcome you in the webinar as well. So sir, I shall take no time now. So Mr. Fizzer sir, over to you, and looking forward for an amazing session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. Today, we are going to look upon the career path in architecture, opportunity in affordable housing. My expertise in affordable housing is related to the field as well as academics. So I'll be talking about how this affordable housing scenario is in India, in present situation is going on, and how our students are dealing with that kind of a scenario. Now, why affordable housing is an issue? We should look into a very basic thing, that is, housing is a simple human need. We require housing, and everyone have to have a safe housing, which feels them safe and secure. One of the main important thing is that the cost of the housing is rising very much in the market. It is mainly because of the increase in the construction cost, increase in the taxes, increase in the material cost, increase in the labor. That's why. And it is very difficult for low income families. Most of the part, 90% of the Indians fall into a little bit of middle income and low income families, and they are very they cannot afford the houses, and they fall into the vulnerable group who cannot afford the affordable housing even. So without access to affordable housing, there are certain challenges which we should look upon. That is, one thing is that the first thing is that homelessness. You don't have your own home, you feel homelessness. And in America right now, there are lots of people that are homeless. In India, the homelessness situation is going down, but in several other countries, the homelessness situation is going up and up. Then there is a challenge that you have to live in the overcrowded situations like slums, or in a very congested area where your children cannot play, where there is no place for playground, there is no place to breathe air, there is no place to see sky, and there are certain problem. These kind of challenges actually give rise to challenges like mental health and education. No access to education, no proper access to employment, and it goes on into a vicious cycle. And vicious cycle means that you fall into the trap of poverty. Then this lead to the economic and social inequality in the society. That is, some part of the city remains very much poor, and some part of the city goes on to a high income people, and that brings the challenge, that is the income inequality. Then that also creates certain challenges, like there is an accessibility to the different services. The market actually determine what kind of services can be provided to what kind of people. So if the market says that I am getting a profit from the more well-to-do people, then the market will shift towards the well-to-do people, and that is a very difficult situation. What the poor people or the people who are in LIG and MIG and EWS category, that is economically weaker section, lower income group, and middle income group people, who actually face this problem. Then there is this challenges to the families related to their growth in the economic as well as social community gathering places. There are certain challenges happens, and that creates a problem of again falling into the trap of the vicious cycle of poverty and health problem and community challenges. Then this challenge need to be addressed, very critical challenge of affordable housing, and the housing should be provided to all the people. Housing for all is the motto of Government of India, and it should be provided to all the people who are the citizen of India. And there should be policies, and there should be guidelines. There should be knowledge sharing between the various technical teams, like architects, like engineers, so planners. So that need is there, how affordable housing challenge can be addressed. So in this presentation, I am going to talk about the what is affordable housing and what are the role of architect in dealing with the affordable housing, and then what are the types of different affordable housing, career opportunities in this field of affordable housing, and skills requirement, training requirement, what are the different case studies, challenges and solutions, and the conclusion ultimately. So if I look into the overall picture of affordable housing, then I'll look into that the 1 crore annual urban population growth is there by 2050, and 11 crore houses are required by 2022. 70% of the urban housing need is in the affordable segment, that is that the LIG and EWS, that is low income group and economically weaker section, require more housing than the high income groups, and 70% of the housing requirement is towards this side. 30% is housing need is concentrated in just 2 states, and $2 trillion investment is required in the housing sector. So the challenge is that we don't have as much skill as required by the market for dealing with the affordable housing. So architects and urban planners are required a lot. 2 crore houses laying vacant, mainly because the 70% requirement of the low income and middle income housing are not available, where the high income housing is available, which are laying vacant. 75% of the investment in housing gets added to the GDP. That means whatever investment is done in the housing, it increases our GDP. 1.7 to 2 lakh hectare land is likely required for urban housing. There is a 2 different housing situation. One is the rural and is the urban. And 30 to 35% of the housing cost consists of the fees and taxes, which need to be removed, right? Now, if we go to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation criteria for affordable housing, the minimum of 300 square feet require in the economically weaker, for the economically weaker section, that is around 25 to 30 square meter. LIG require around 500 to 517, that is around 48 to 50 square meter. And MIG, middle income group, requires 600 to 1200 square feet of area, that is 80 to 85 or 80 to 90 square meter of area that is required for the affordable housing criteria in these criteria. Now, what is this? How Government of India decide that your income should be in economically weaker section or lower income group or middle income group? The Government of India decides with the EMI or the rent that should not exceed 30 for the EWS and LIG and 40% for the MIG group per monthly income. If the monthly income of a person is around say 10,000, then the economically weaker section should not pay 3,000 rupees and more for the rent or the dealing with the EMI for the housing. And for MIG, if his income or her income is around 40,000 rupees, then there should not be more than say 16,000 rupees per month, and it should not go more than that for rent and EMI. So these are some certain things which decides the criteria of economically weaker section, lower income group, or middle income group. So the roles and responsibilities of architects, how architect can actually deal with the affordable housing situation. So the first thing that architects do, architect is a person who is a professional and recognized by Council of Architecture, Government of India under the Act 1972, who can deal with the building drawing and building design and approval of the buildings through different government authorities, who does have the authority to sign in the building drawings, building plans, and site plans. So the architects generally deal with the designing and functionality. What is designing? It is the design of the buildings, and functionality means whether the buildings are working properly or not, and ensuring the balance and cost and quality. What is the balance? The balancing the cost means the affordable housing is very much should be cost effective, because there are people who have to take the housing are very much maybe poor or very much economically weaker, and they may not have that much of money to afford the housing. So the quality also, whenever we reduce the cost, it is like the quality of the building material, quality of the engineering, quality of the architecture finishes gets reduced. So the job of architect is to deal with this thing and balance this thing and ensuring sustainability. That means the architects electricity, too much of water consumption, repairing, and those things should not be there. And now the what challenges generally faced by the architects are, the first thing is the limited budget. Yes, when the limited budget is there, it is very difficult for architects to deal with the situation of the building construction material, which are increasing high and high, the challenge of designing and implementing, where the labor cost is increasing high and high. So if a budget is approved by the Government of India, then it is going to take at least 3 years to build the affordable housing. So when these 3 years gone, the prices increases, so the budget become obsolete. So that is what challenge the architects feel. Then meeting regulations. There are certain regulations by different government authorities like municipality, urban development authority. So they feel that challenge of there is a certain problem of that. Addressing social and cultural need. There are different situations, like Gujarati people does have a different culture, Bengali does have a different culture. Then the Punjabi does have a different culture, Haryanvi does have a different culture, Tamil does have a different culture, Kerala people does have a different culture, and the housing situations need to adapt this kind of a culture and provide spaces for communities and to interact with, and they deal with the challenges. Now, there are various type of affordable housing that is that we can see in India, and various government of India also promotes such a certain affordable housing. One is the rental apartment. Rental apartment are those nowadays that the situation is that you cannot buy any house right now. It is very difficult to buy a house in tier 1 cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai. It is also difficult to buy the city tier 2 cities houses in like Pune or Ludhiana, or certainly those cities where tier 2 cities are there. It is very difficult to buy houses. So it is there is a requirement of housing, and the rental housing or rental apartment housing schemes by Government of India is a very good option, which can be taken over by different private organizations, government organizations, companies who require a lot of housing for their employees, and the institutions who require a lot of housing for their friends, and certainly like that. Now, cooperative housing is a kind of an housing which deals with, say, for example, I have 10 friends, and we 10 friend collectively consult government that you provide us the land and the scheme. We are ready to invest into our housing, and that is a cooperative housing. And the single family homes are the houses which are the first image that you saw, that was a single family home. Now, this different type of affordable housing have been incorporated in different schemes. So that is the subsidy given by the Government of India. Now, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, this is one scheme which can be divided into two different parts. That is the Pradhan Mantri Urban and Pradhan Mantri Rural. So Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban deals with the urban population, where the schemes goes with the requirement of urban situation. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Rural mainly talk about how rural India and rural housing is required, and what kind of subsidies can be given. Now, credit linked subsidy scheme, this is also linked with the PMAY, where interest subsidy to home loans are given. Say, for example, I am going to purchase a house, or I am going to build a house. In that both the situation, I require certain kind of a loan, and that loan can be actually subsidized by Government of India. That is one thing, credit link subsidy. Affordable rental housing complexes. Government of India also deals with certainly rental housing complexes, where I already told you, that is by giving exemptions from the taxes on the purchase of the houses, or the giving for the rent. Also, there is a exemption of the GST and taxes for making the buildings, on the building material, low interest and low loan interest loan for the builders, etc., and also for the owners who want to go for the affordable rental housing. Now, I'm going to show you one video by the Government of India, and I hope the screen will be visible for you.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Now going back to uh, this huge requirement of the housing, that is this affordable housing in a different categories can be fulfilled only if the whole India goes with the good amount of skills that are required. An architect plays a very important role. That is the first thing, that is the skill is required, is the knowledge of affordable housing policies.
Sir, I'm very sorry, but it's not visible on full screen, sir. Kindly put it on full screen.
Is it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so the skill required for this affordable housing are mainly knowledge of the policies, and architects and urban planners does know these policies because they are taught about those. Cost-effective design skill, then that is mainly about the building construction techniques, the mechanization of the building construction, the making buildings in the machines, or making buildings in the factories, and making component of the buildings in the factories and making it again and again very quickly. That is one thing which is taught in the architecture courses and planning courses. Project management skills are taught with the softwares, and the skills are required, and that skill are also taught in the architecture programs. Then technical skills like designing or engineering skills are inbuilt. Cultural sensitivity is a very important skill which are taught to the students. Also, they are taken to deal with a different kind of a communities, and in their third year, in their fourth year, there are field studies which they have to that is a compulsory visit to the slums or the areas where affordable housing requirement are there, and our students have done a wonderful work in affordable housing sector. Then there is a data analysis and research skill. Again, softwares are required, and again, architecture or urban planning required, urban planners required to have that skill. Then collaboration between different skills, architects, urban planner, designers, and the civil engineers, all they have their collaboration, and then only this things can be done. Being placed to various institutions in various companies, various architects working with various architects who actually deal with the affordable housing, the companies who actually deal with the affordable housing, and they are doing wonders. Now, I'm going to show you affordable and rental housing project by one of the project. We did one project in this Ludhiana Gyaspura, which is a very which is an industrial area. Also, we did a project in Kolkata in the Metia Bruise area, which is also industrial cum residential area. We also did one project for the upcoming very much challenging rental housing and affordable housing project requirement in nearby our Jalandhar. So we did a lot of project. One of that project is certainly here, where our student went for the site analysis. They went for mapping of different things, and they identified what is required and what not required there, and what are the different kind of an housing situation is going on in that area, what are the what are the developers are talking about, what different stakeholders, like those who are living in the rental, those who are living in their own houses, those who require apartments, all those, what kind of situation, economic situation, what kind of physical problems they are facing. So we mapped all those things. After mapping all those things, we also identify some certain challenges. these challenges have been tackled with the case studies. There are certainly case studies all over the world, all over India, where affordable housing case studies are being undertaken. So we took those and our student took those. And also there are certain standards in, there is a book called Newford, there is a time saver standards, there is a Government of India book, NBC codes, then the Government of India codes like URDPFI. So we all combined all those things and understood, the student understood different design and standard criteria regarding the standards, the spaces requirement, the height and building requirement, etc. Now, second thing that is required, what is the low cost building techniques and materials can be applied into this kind of a housing, because without the low cost building material, it is not possible for making affordable housing to available to the people who require affordable housing. Then we dealt with what is the local zoning regulations and bylaws. There are certain, there are these terms called ground coverage, floor area ratio, maximum height, setbacks, all those things are required to be undertaken. And then all those things when combined, we try to prepare a map, zoning map, where to be put in different places, how the zones can be divided. Then after mapping the zones, then we create a site plan. The site plan generally is showing the total buildings, where are the parks, where are the community spaces, where are the parking areas, where are the securities and safety can be dealt with, and how different housing can be divided into different places. Now, we also take the help of different 3D softwares like Google SketchUp or Revit or AutoCAD, and we try to develop a model of 3D model to see how this three-dimensional picture come up with, and what are the spaces are mainly talking about. Then we try to detail out, and our students have detailed out those things in a different criteria. So there are the studio apartment, their planning, their sections, elevations, site plans, their 1 BHK apartment, planning, sections, site plans, etc. And 3D views, 2 BHK apartment, and all those things have been detailed out. Other than that, they also deal with the detailing of the sections, the detailing of the building component, detailing of the environmental sustainability, how these buildings can be environmentally sustainable, how these buildings can be more and more long lasting, etc. And we also encourage our student to perform or form the community space in the housing, so that there is a intermingle between different communities. There are certain open spaces, there are different schools, there are marketplaces, all those things can be incorporated in the housing. So that is one aspect of how we deal with the different problems of the challenges in India. That is one challenge, is the affordable housing. So I'm going to show you one three-dimensional picture that has been prepared by our student, and I hope this screen is visible totally. So I'll play it. The community spaces, the playground, parking spaces, decent housing, the open spaces are the most important things that our students look into the different projects. The main problem that the communities who live in congested areas face are mainly in the segment where there is a over congestions and no space are there. So we deal with that kind of a challenge, and I hope the presentation has offered you the knowledge about how affordable housing is a challenge, how architects can deal with, how our students are dealing with the challenge, and they are also doing good in the market. Nowadays, entrepreneurs are there. Our students are making affordable housing in Ludhiana, in Jalandhar, in Bangladesh, in different part of the country. Our students are placed in different offices who are dealing with the challenge of affordable housing. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this insightful presentation. And I hope that I have enjoyed the session. I hope that all the attendees must have enjoyed the session. And sir, it has been really valuable of a presentation. And I'm sure that, apart from all the knowledge that you've given during the presentation, they must have gotten practical idea of how things are, being happening in the terms of architecture. Sir, with your permission, can we take up like 2-3 questions, because we have got like 2-3 questions in here?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So there's one question from an attendee, and that attendee wants to know, like, what all are the philosophy one architect must follow?
If I talk about only affordable housing, the philosophy the architect must follow is that there is a broader requirement of the housing, and the housing required not only in terms of making them safe, secure, also they require to be very much affordable. So the philosophy here is to deal with the challenge of economy and the challenge of environment, also the challenge of cost. That is one thing. Second thing is that there is a requirement of rebuilding again and again, and the mass constructions required. That is another philosophy which is required for architects to follow. The architects are designers, but say for example, we are if you go to a cloth, stitch a cloth, or you buy a cloth from the supermarket, the affordable housing should be such like that you should not design the housing every day, but it should be affordably available everywhere, and it can be easy to purchase. That is what the mass constructions and should happen, which is happening in China, which is happening in different part of the world, where the affordable housing is being built in a very rapid construction manner, and it is built in factories and just parceled into the land parcel, which we need to follow. In architects, we are also dealing with that kind of a thing, and our students are doing that kind of a project where affordable housing are being taken up as a unit, and they are just replacing the units into different module designs, so they can be made in factories and built brought up into the site. That is what philosophy should be taken up. Other than that, if the nowadays architects need to follow the philosophy is that the architecture discipline is a multidisciplinary approach, and architects should take up all the approaches, like the dealing with the planners, designers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, everyone. And a lovely professional university is a place where all the interdisciplinary interactions happens. That is one thing which I should talk about.
Sir, since you had talked about lovely professional university, the next question from an attendee, correlates the same, is that attendee wants to know what all are the advancements from the student in agriculture, in architecture field, and like what students can do just after graduating from the course.
The architecture course can be offered in a very there are two ways you can offer architecture course. One is either we can go in a very conventional way or traditional way, and one thing is like where we can adapt modernity or adapt the technology. Nowadays technology does have a very upper hand, and our students generally do is we deal with research, patent, copyright. We take students to different field visits, industry visit. We encourage students to deal with various materials and techniques. We encourage students to take part in different conferences, guest lectures, workshops, and certifications are provided. so that the student also take part in the various organizations like GRIA, then FSAI, Fire Safety Association India, Indian Institute of Architects, and so many associations are there. In Government of India does have so many associations which LPU is associated with, Architecture College is associated with. So our student does have a good amount of good portfolio, and the portfolio shows the 3D skill, the technical skill, the software skill that our students have. Also, their resume shows a lot of certificates and the encouragements from different associations. That takes our student to the first-hand placement, where they go for multinational companies, who are dealing with software, who are dealing with affordable housing, who are dealing with designs of the skyscrapers. Our students are going to internship in Italy, in Dubai, in very important firms of India, in Government of India, and our students also going into the multinational firms like Autodesk, Revit, etc. So that is what we can say, how the future of architecture students will be going towards.
Sir, thank you so much for resolving the queries, and I hope that all the queries of our attendees have been resolved now. So students, you can actually know like what you all can do when you come in lovely professional university. You study the topic, you study the course, and then after that you can reach to certain heights that sir have told us already that our students have been achieving. So sir, because we were getting a lot of queries about admission processes as well. So I would request Chirag sir to now please navigate the students regarding their admission queries, sir. They want to know how they can take part in their favorite course, and how they can take up the course that they want, and what all are the processes going to be. So sir, kindly please navigate the students.
Okay, so I'll be sharing.
Yeah, sir, you're audible now.
Hopefully the screen is visible.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay, so firstly, we'll start with the infrastructure that we provide to the students. So as we can see over here, we have 12 out of 13 LPU students who have won gold, who have won various medals in Tokyo Olympics Games 2020. And we had Neeraj Chopra, who has actually won that gold medal part. So apart from that, we have been pretty good in sports, where we lifted runners-up trophy in Khelo India Games 2022. Neeraj Chopra, as I have already discussed, so 1,000 of our alumni, they have been working across various multinational companies across US, Canada, and UK. And our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, sir, has actually made the historic address at the House of Lords, British Parliament, London. So we, as per the ranking is concerned, we have been ranked 23rd among the top university of India as per World University Rankings. If I talk about architecture course, so we have been ranked 12th amongst all the national universities that are across NIRF ranking. So apart from that, we have been ranked 74th globally as per Times Higher Impact Education ranking. As if I explore about the campus life, the campus life is that we have actually conducted one of the biggest science congresses in 2019, and we were the only private university at that time to conduct it. So we have been visited by various eminent personalities, movie stars, as well as former presidents of India and Afghanistan. They have come over here. Late Shri Arun Kumar Jaitley sir has actually started our LPU Startup School. Is the e-school ideas that we have been provided. We have been given various life skills lessons along with various eminent personalities, Bollywood as well as cricket stars who have actually visited our campus or made our campus pretty vibrant. So if I talk about the infrastructure, so we have been blessed with the very good infrastructure, as we have a library which is a 4-story building. We have, you can see this is an amphitheater. It is architect in such a way that it is connected with various blocks. It has an open house capacity of more than 3,000 students who can sit over here, connected with various blocks all together. Indoor, we have the indoor auditorium as well, who has a capacity of 2000 plus sitting capacity, where we conduct various big events as such. So we have academic resource center where the students can have access of all the availabilities. And this is a mall. We have all the availabilities available for all the students, where the bowling complex, there is a gym. In this part in this time of the world, it's very important for us to have uni hospital, and if any kind of medical emergency, the students can definitely visit that auditorium. The reason why we have been doing pretty good in sports, because of the infrastructure that we have in sports as well. And it's very good with 15 badminton courts, the national international level swimming pool. Then we have badminton is also there, shooting complex is there. There is a cricket stadium also. So this is a night view of the campus. So I'll quickly turn around and share the important fee structure of the courses that we have been given with us. If you want to apply for any program related to architecture, all you need to do is you have to type in nest.lpu.in. Again, I repeat, nest.lpu.in. You can access many courses over here, and let's just search architecture. If I write architecture, so we have various courses such as B architecture, B planning, M planning, M arch executive, diploma in architectural assistantship, and diploma in architectural assistantship lateral entry as well. So we have got a B architecture program. The moment we click it, I want to know about eligibility, fee, scholarship, along with various other details. So I have to search this course, and I'm again clicking this course as B architecture. So in B architecture course, we have various options over here with various there is eligibility criteria also that we need to see. If I want to go about the fee structure of the course is that it is 1,20,000 per semester. But the important point is that we are giving scholarship, and we are giving scholarship on the basis of our LPU Nest examination or category 1 cutoff. If you are having 95% or above in +2 examination, we are giving scholarship amount of 57,600. So your fees is not going to be 1,20,000, it will be 62,400. Again, it depends upon which category cutoff you put in. So let me just give you an overview of the eligibility criteria over here with this particular course. So as we can see on this particular site, we have discussed the fees scholarship, but we have the program details also. So eligibility criteria of this course is we have to pass with 50% of aggregate marks in +2 with English, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and pass with 50% marks in physics, chemistry, and mathematics subject to qualifying NATA 2023. It's very, very important for any candidate to qualify that examination. Why? Because it is an eligibility parameters that we have to qualify with. So the fees I have discussed, and the scholarship is given on the basis of, just see, the scholarship is given on the basis of percentage in qualifying exam, which is +2. Scholarship is given on the basis of LPU Nest examination. It is an examination which we our university conduct, but not NATA has to be qualified. This is important thing. So in this test, if you are appearing in this particular test, and there are 3 category cutoff 1, 2, and 3, you get the scholarship of, or your fees is reduced. You get a certain scholarship amount. So scholarship amount with 57,600 for first category cutoff, scholarship get 54,000 for second category cutoff, and 48,000 for the third category cutoff. So we are reducing the fees from 1,20,000 and minus with 57,600, certain amount is supposed to be paid. So we do give scholarship on the basis of NATA as well, or JEE Mains paper 2. So we do give the scholarship again category 1, 2, and 3 cutoff. So it's about it's your score, which is NATA. If it is more than 130, we giving the first category cutoff. So it's either out of them. So we give the scholarship on the basis of your percentage criteria in qualifying exam, which is +2, or NATA or JEE Mains score 2, or if you apply for our LPU Nest examination, we give the scholarship on the basis of that as well. But again, eligibility criteria, NATA has to be qualified. If there is any doubt, you can ask. I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, thank you so much for guiding our students, and I hope the queries of all our students have been resolved as to how they can take the admission. So just last one query is that is there any way they can contact our LPU if they want to have any consultation? Can they do so?
Yeah, definitely. We do have a toll-free number, and we have the contact us option as well. So you students, all they need to do is online. We have admissions at if I talk about email ID, admissions@lpu.co.in, and importantly, there is website link which is admission.lpu.in over here. You can see I have shared the screen. So over there, students just need to put up their query, and then on the basis of that, they are taken into the admission part. We do have a toll-free number as well. So the moment you write lpu.in, there is a landing page that will take us for the admission purpose part. And on the basis of that, students can just opt for contact us. So definitely our team will be getting in touch with them. All they need to do is just to put their phone number, and our admission teams will definitely contact them accordingly. Although we do have the toll-free number, you can see over here, there are many options which student can explore in the website itself. So, there is an option of schedule a call. So student can click that, and by default, our team will get into that. There is an option of WhatsApp as well. So the students need to click that WhatsApp option. So we'll have the WhatsApp with them as well. Yeah.
So thank you so much for resolving the queries of the students and of all the participants. And sir, since we're not getting any more queries regarding the topic and the admission process, so I shall take permission from you and Mustafizur sir to wrap the webinar up, sir. Can I?
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, then thank you to all the attendees and all the participants. Thank you so much. And so thank you, sir, and thank you, sir, Chirag sir, to give your valuable time and to resolve the queries of our attendees. And I hope that they have enjoyed the session. And for all the attendees, you can just visit, as sir told, www.lpu.in, and can have all the counseling sessions, and you can take part in the admissions as well. So until next time, thank you so much for joining in. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you.